Hey, what's up? Great to see you again. Today, I want to talk to you about something that I think is going to help you a lot. I'm going to show you guys how in the next 30 days, how to get your first 1,000 leads and then turn that into your first $1,000. Now, some of you guys be aggressive and you're gonna go and try to get 10,000 leads and $10,000. You can do whatever you want, I don't really care, but I'm gonna walk you through a process that has been proven to work over and over and over again. It's something we teach in our highest level coaching programs to people to actually launch their project, launch their funnel, launch their webinar, launch whatever it is they're trying to sell. It's a really simple process that I think if you follow it, it's gonna be really effective for you. So that's kind of game plan what we're gonna cover during today's video. So if you want 1,000 leads and you wanna turn those leads into $1,000 in the next 30 days, that's what this is all about. I'm gonna walk you through a step-by-step, day-by-day process. Also, as I'm going through this presentation, down below, as you have aha moments and ideas that come to your head, please post them down below. The more ahas I see, the more excited I'm gonna get about making you more videos. So post all the ahas down below. And also, if you wanna click on the like button, it would mean the world to me. I'm not gonna lie, my love language is physical touch. And since I can't give you a physical hug right here, my second love language is words of affirmation. So anything you put down in the comments down below will mean the world to me. So with that said, let's jump right in. Now again, the format I'm gonna show you guys will take about 60 minutes a day if you do it consistently. So if you block out 1 hour a day for the next 30 days, that's the goal. So some of you guys, that means getting up an hour earlier than you're used to. Some of you guys, it means getting up an hour or staying up an hour later. Maybe it's doing it during lunch hour, but you gotta carve out about 60 minutes a day to change your life forever. Is it worth just taking 60 minutes? I think it should be. So that's kind of game plan. 60 minutes a day, what it's gonna take. All right, day number one. The first question I want you to ask yourself is, who is the person you actually want to serve? And I always start any training with this because what a lot of people do is start creating something because they're excited about creating the thing, and then because they create something that attracts the wrong customer, they end up in a business that they hate because they have the wrong customers. In fact, if you've ever read my book, .com Secrets, literally chapter 1, I talk about this. Like, I'd been building a business, I had a whole bunch of customers, and I woke up one day so miserable because I didn't love my customers. I remember laying in bed thinking, I wish that I had a boss so they could fire me, but this is my own company, so I have to go in. It was a little while after I remember sitting down and thinking, okay, how do I get to a spot where I'm excited to go to work every day, I'm excited to create, and it was shifting who my dream customer was. And so I identified, this is who my dream customer is gonna be. So my question for you, number one, is like, who do you actually want to serve? Who's the person that you would serve them anyway for free because you love it, you love them, you're excited about the topic? If you can figure what that is, it'll change the dynamics of everything. If you're trying to like pull teeth to go and like make money, this is a miserable job and you should go find something else to do. But if you want to serve people and you're excited about those people that you're serving, this becomes really fun. Now, partially this is important because the first 2 weeks or so, we're gonna be serving those people. We're not gonna be getting money initially, we're gonna be serving, providing value, doing those kind of things. And by doing that, people are gonna start getting magnetically drawn towards you, which will set up the last 2 weeks, which will get us to the $1,000 from the 1,000 leads. So that's kind of game plan. So step number one is that. A lot of times people ask me, like, who should I serve? And the reality is, for most of you guys, it's you 5 years ago, right? If you look at this little image here, there's growth and contribution. Like, you've been growing over the last 5 years. You become something special, right? Like, who have you become? And so think about, who were you 5 years ago? Like, those are the people you're gonna go and contribute to now with the knowledge, information, the things that you've learned in the last 5 years as you've gone on this journey to become something amazing. So day number one is, who is the person that you want to serve? All right, that moves us over to day number two. Now we know who that person is, we gotta figure out what is gonna be the lead magnet or the bait that's gonna get that person to come into my world, right? So we gotta create something. Dan Kennedy, he coined the phrase lead magnet, and a lead magnet can be simple. Back in the day, people thought like lead magnet has to be a book or has to be this huge thing, and they stressed out about how much like effort would go into it. But the example right here, this lead magnet, this is one of Brendan Burchard's lead magnets. It's called the One-Day Productivity Planner. It's one piece of paper. Okay, and he's built a list of millions of people by giving away a one-page productivity planner. So it can be simple, right? Nowadays with AI, like, it's almost too simple. You can create lead magnets very, very simple. Just be like, hey, I'm looking for blah, 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 right? Ask ChatGPT or whoever, and they can pop out and you can create a really simple lead magnet. The key is just making something really sexy that somebody's gonna want, because you're gonna be trading them this lead magnet information in exchange for their email address. So it's gotta be good enough that they're gonna give you their real email address. Okay, if you make something crappy or something that's not that cool, no one's gonna give it to you. So you gotta think, what is the thing that me 5 years ago would have given my email address, would have went and tried to find out, you know, borrow someone's credit card to buy, like, what's something that's so good I can give it away for free? And that becomes a lead magnet to get your dream customers to come to you and give you their email address, okay? So that's what's gonna be happening on day number two, is actually creating that lead magnet. Like I said, you can use AI to help, but I wouldn't use it completely, because AI, as of today, as I'm making this video, the content comes out okay. So make sure you go in there and add your own stuff. If you want to add a video or add things just to make it unique to you, be sure to do that. But the power again is creating a really powerful lead magnet. For example, Brendan's, which is so funny, is the one-page productivity planner. And then what we're going to do is then we're going to be putting it on a landing page like this, and basically says, hey, if you want this free lead magnet, give me your email address in exchange. You can see right here, it says free download, the one-page productivity planner used by CEOs and achievers worldwide. And then they opt in, they give you their email address in exchange for this lead magnet. All right, so that brings us to day number 3, which is actually creating the lead funnel. Okay, the lead funnels are the most simple type of funnel. There's 2 pages. There's page number 1 that says this is the lead magnet you're gonna get, and then page number 2 is where you actually give them the lead magnet. It's pretty simple, right? It's 2 pages. This is what one looks like. This is like one of the most simple ones. This is the Going Pro Manifesto. That was the name of the lead magnet that Brian Moran created. And again, if you look at this, it's very simple. Page number 1, there it is. Here's the lead magnet. Give me your email address. Page number 2, give them the download. You can create a lead funnel like this in about 3 minutes inside of ClickFunnels. It's one of the easiest funnels we have. In fact, down below in the comments, we'll put some swipe files for some lead funnels you can use. Click on the link and it'll literally take that and it'll install inside your ClickFunnels account. If you don't have a ClickFunnels account, it'll give you a free trial. So I'll put it down, a whole bunch of really cool lead funnels down below you can use. And then from there, you just basically plug your lead magnet into it. And that way, now when people request your lead magnet, they will be put on your email list, and that's the big secret. Getting the leads. Okay, now some of you guys are wondering, like, Russell, why are we getting the email address? Like, what's the big deal? Especially my kids, I tell them about this stuff. My kids are like, Dad, no one reads email anymore. And they're like, it's all on Snapchat or Instagram or whatever, right? And that may be true in the next decade, but people have been telling me now for almost 20 years that email's dead. I'm 20 years into it. My email list is like 5 or 6 million people large, and it still makes me money every single day. So building an email list is still the most important, like, foundational element you need to be doing inside your business. And the easiest way to do that is by giving away a lead magnet, right? So they come in here, and what I want you to understand is this concept that the money is in the list. I remember people used to tell me that back when I got started, like, the money's in the list, the money's in the list. I didn't understand, like, how is the money in the list? It didn't make sense to me. And I remember I actually found an article from somebody, again, this is, man, almost 20 years ago. I was in college at the time. And it was explaining how email marketing works. And he says, you've probably seen people online bragging about, oh, I made $30,000 an hour, I made 6 figures in a week. And in your mind, logically, like, that makes no logical sense. That's not possible. And the guy in this article explained, he said, no, this is how it actually works. He says, all these different gurus who are talking about it, he said they have an email list of 10,000 or 30,000 or 100,000 people, right? So when they create a new product, a new offer, they put it out there and they send an email to a list of 30,000 people. Right? Now, obviously 30,000 people aren't going to buy, but if you get 30,000 people you send the email to, from there you get 10,000 people to open the email. By the way, this is what a funnel looks like if you hear me talk about funnels, right? 30,000 people get the email, 10,000 open. From that, 5,000 click on the link. From there, 5,000 go to the page, and from there, maybe 1,000 click on the order form. 300 actually buy the product, and boom. And 300 people buying a $100 product, boom, you just made, what's the math on that? $30,000, right? And he's like, that's how the gurus make their money. They focus on building a big list, and then they create offers to sell to that list. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And so for me, my focus began like 20 years ago, like, how do I build a list? How do I build a list? Like, let me focus on that. At the time, it was funny, I'd bought some real estate, and I had this house we bought it for like $150,000. We had to rehab it. We got a renter in there. And when all was said and done, it was cash flowing like $200 a month. And this is how everyone was telling me to get rich. And I was like, this is so much work to do this, right? While I was doing this whole real estate thing, I'm like, cash flowing $200 a month. This is so stressful. It cost me $150,000 up front to buy this thing. That's when I learned about email marketing. And I'm gonna finish the story after I show you what somebody showed me. They talked about the money in the list. My friend told me this. He said, you should be able to average $1 per month per name on your email list. Okay, so again, $1 per month per name on your email list, which means if you have 1,000 people on your list, you should make $1,000 a month. If you got 10,000 on your list, you should be making $10,000 a month. You have 100,000 on your list, $100,000 a month, so on and so forth, right? So my friend told me that, and I was like, is that true? He's like, so far, those are numbers in my business. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this out. So I started building a list. I remember I was doing all sorts of stuff. Some of the stuff I'll show you guys right today. I started building a list though, and from that, month number 1, I got 217 people to join my list. And sure enough, that first month I made about $300. This is while I was in college. So I'm kind of freaking out. I was like, I got this list for free. It didn't cost me any money to build a list of 270 people, whatever it was, right? 217 people. It didn't cost me money to build that list, but it made $300. I'm like, I spent $150,000 on this duplex and I only made $200, right? And I was like, this is such a better way. I don't have to like go and spend a ton of money. Now you can go and buy money and spend ads to build your list, which is a great strategy. Not what I'm gonna be showing you guys today, but it just changed my whole perspective. I'm like, I'd rather invest in building lists than invest in the house, because this now I can make money every single month from that email list. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's why the money's in the list. That's why it's so important. All right, this is what Brandon Bouchard's lead funnel looks like. Again, landing page. He asks for email address in exchange for the one-page productivity planner. Thank you page. He has a video explaining it and gives him down the link to it. Okay, this is one of my lead funnels. This one right here. This page is very simple. There's an e-cover of the lead magnet, and then ask for the email address. This page right now gets 58% opt-in rate, and so far has generated me 185,136 leads. So I don't know about you, but if you do the math on that, $1 per month per lead, this has been one of the most profitable properties in the world. It's like buying, a condo in Manhattan and renting it at top market dollar every single day, right? I got that by making a simple 2-page funnel, right? Squeeze page, thank you page, that's it. Day number 4. So right now, we know who our dream customer is, right? We've created a lead magnet, created a lead funnel, start getting those people to give us their email address. Now it's all about getting people to come to you and then give you their email address in exchange for your lead magnet. That's the next step. Okay, you guys wanna see how this works? All right, so day number 4, I'm calling this a social media reset, okay? Because I want you to shift your mind. For most of you guys right now, you're probably a consumer of social media, am I right? Because right now you are literally consuming this video, okay? A consumer is somebody who's on their phone and they're consuming videos and reels and shorts, and they're consuming social media, right? If you want to start being successful, we transition away from being a consumer of social media and become a producer of social media, right? Right now, what am I doing? I'm producing social media. From this video, I'll probably add 10,000 people to my list or more, hopefully. That's the goal, right? We're shifting from being a consumer of social media to a producer. And in this example, I'm gonna show you is Facebook, but you can do the same thing in other platforms. But let's talk about Facebook. So in Facebook, what I'm gonna do first off is I'm gonna go to my personal profile. Now your personal profile is no longer for your mom and your grandma and your friends to come see who you are. Okay, this is now a business you are running, right? So I'm gonna change my social media profile. I'm gonna change Facebook so that my cover photo explains what I actually do, right? So check, this is an example, Megan Taylor. It says, Social Media Mastery Summit, sign up with 3 clients in just 3 days, it's a must-attend event, blah, 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 right? So she has information in her header on Facebook about what her lead magnet is, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, the very first post you make is gonna be giving away your lead magnet. Okay, the reason why, when somebody comes and click on your profile, they show up and it's like, oh, what does this person do? The header graphic tells you what you do, and the very first post is like, hey, give me your email address in exchange for this cool thing. They click on the link inside the first post and it takes them over to your lead magnet, and now they start joining your list. That's how we're structuring things to start getting people from the internet to give you their email address, okay? Does that make sense? Change the cover on your Facebook profile and then make a post that's giving away your lead magnet. It's linking out to your ClickFunnels funnel. Day number 4, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go into Facebook and we're gonna join between 5 and 10 groups. Okay, now the coolest thing about Facebook is Facebook has already congregated all these people together for you based on the things that they're interested in, right? So in this example right here, I typed in the word photographers in Facebook, and Facebook has all the different groups. And if you look at the groups here, there's a whole bunch of different ones, right? The first one's got 11,000 members, second one's got 11,000 members, third one's got 49,000 members, next one has 96,000 members, next one got 215,000 members. Okay, so if I'm a photographer, where am I gonna find other photographers who are gonna want my lead magnet? They're already on Facebook, and Facebook already put them together in a group. So what I would do is say, okay, I'm gonna join 5 to 10 groups on photography, or figure out what you're about, right? Maybe you're into stock trading. I'm gonna go to Facebook, type in stock trading, stock markets, whatever, and try to find a whole bunch of groups of people talking about stock trading, right? Or again, whatever it's cooking or fishing or whatever your market is, whatever your dream customers, we're gonna find out where they're congregating in Facebook groups, okay? This is the strategy. So I type in photographers, find all these things. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna join this group with 49,000 members, the group with 96,000, the group with 215,000. I'm gonna join between 5 and 10. My goal is to get groups that have at least 100,000 people. So it means if I join 10 groups that each have 100,000 people, now I'm in ponds of my dream customers, over 1 million of them, right, on Facebook right now, okay? Now again, my goal right now in the next 30 days is not to get 1 million people. This is fun, right? There's 1 million people in these Facebook groups. My goal is to try to get 1,000 of them to join my list, and then from those 1,000, I'm gonna try to turn those 1,000 people into $1,000 in the first 30 days. Sound good? Okay, so we join these groups. Now what you don't want to do when you join the groups is what some people do, and they jump in like, hey, I'm so excited to be in your group. Download my free lead magnet here. Okay, that's called spamming. Nobody likes the spammer. It's like going to a party and you walk in, right? All these people talking and hanging out. You jump in really quick and you're like, hey everybody, I want to sell you something, right? That's not how it works. Instead, what we do is we come in these groups and we start building relationships, start getting to know people. Okay, that's how this is going to work. All right, so day number 4, the next thing we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be providing value. This means I'm gonna make 1 value post and I'm gonna answer 3 questions per group. Okay, so for example, let's say you are in the how to make money on the internet market. I've got a group, the ClickFunnels group, that has over 225,000 members in here, right? So if you join this group, and if you went and spammed, we'd kick you out instantly, we'd blacklist you, everyone would make fun of you. So don't do that. Instead, what you do is you come to this group, and I'm gonna do 2 things each day. I'm gonna make 1 value post, and then I'm gonna go find other people who are asking questions and try to answer those questions. Okay, 1 value post, 3 questions per group. So if you're in 10 group, it means you're gonna be doing 10 value posts. You can use the same value post in each group, that's fine. Then go and answer 3 questions in each group. Okay, so for example, here in the image, this is one, my friends, they went into our group, they posted this value post, and it was amazing. It said, top 10 hooks to attract your dream social media clients, and it had 10 hooks. I popped them out, posted it, right? Great value, and not selling anything, not pitching anything, just posted that in there. And from this one thing, she got like 50 or 60 comments, people like, that was awesome, thank you so much, oh, so grateful, right? All these people are seeing like, this person's very useful, right? Next day she came back, posted again. This time it was top 5 objections you'll hear as a social media manager. Boom, 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 posted those in there. Next time, 150, 200 people like, this is amazing, thank you, thank you, thank you, all sorts of good feedback. Now what happens when you're in a group and someone shows up and they start providing value, and they provide value the next day, and they're answering questions, you're like, who is this person? They're so cool, right? It's like having a party and some person comes in and they're in there connecting and hanging out, they're the cool kid in the group, and you're like, this person's awesome, I wanna find out their name. This is what starts happening. You're in these groups, you're posting, you're providing value. Again, 1 value post per day, 3 questions answered per group. All of a sudden, these people start seeing you, like, who is this person? They click on your name, comes over to your Facebook profile. Very top, they see the banner ad of what you do. They see the very first post, which is you promoting your lead magnet. Then they click on that, and boom, 1 million people inside the groups. You know, from there you get 100,000 people that see your post. From there you get 10,000 who click on the link. From there you get 1,000 people who start joining your email list. Are you guys getting this? Okay, this is all free traffic. Yeah, Russell, that's good in theory, but it didn't work for you. Literally, this is how I built my business. I built my business 20 years ago, before we had Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, okay, before MySpace. You guys remember MySpace? Before MySpace, there was a thing called Friendster, okay? I tried to use Friendster, but Friendster, you couldn't buy ads on it, right? This is when I got started in this game. So what I would do back in the day, I did this exact same strategy. I went to forums. This is before Facebook was around, so they had forums. You join a forum, they have 300,000 members, and guess what I would do? I had 10 forums I was a member of. And every single day, I went and made a value post in all 10 of these different forums, and went there and answered questions every single day, and from that, I built my list from 0 to over 10,000 people in the first like 90 days. That was the big secret. Didn't spend a single ad, not a single dollar. So what I'm telling you now is the exact same thing that I did to grow my list initially, only Facebook makes it so much easier because you don't have to go find the forums online. Just go to Facebook and all the groups are already there. They're already active. You see exactly how many members are in there and you go participate really quickly, okay? So again, come back here. 1 value post, 3 questions per day. From there, they see your profile, they click on it, they end up going back here to your Facebook page, they see your banner ad, they see your very first post, and then from there, boom, they click on it, they go into your ClickFunnels account, they put their name, email address in it, now they are a lead, and now you are in business. Now you got people who have joined your list, okay? So that's day number 4. Now between day 5 and 14, guess what we're gonna do? We're going to be awesome. Okay, we're not gonna sell these guys anything. We're gonna continue to provide value for 2 full weeks, right? Okay, so day 5 to day 14, 1 value post per group, answer 3 questions per group, and consistency is the key. Do not sell anything, just be awesome, provide value, show people how much you know, how much you care, and by doing that, every single day, you're gonna watch your list go from 5 people on your list to 10, to 25, to 50, to 55, to 100, to 400, to 500, to 1,000, okay? The goal is in those first 14 days to get from 1 million people in the groups to 1,000 people who are on your email list. Now, obviously, for some people, they get less than that. Some people get a lot more than that, okay? It all depends on how much value you provide, how often you're in there. But again, the key is understanding that you're not getting drowned in these 10 groups, right? We're not consuming social media, we're producing it. We're coming here, giving answers, providing value. And that's how people start finding out who you are and start joining your list. All right, so here we are right now. Week number 1, we've been focusing on list building. Week number 2, we've been focusing on list building. And I want to note that this process doesn't stop. You don't just do list building for 2 weeks, like, I'm done now, and now you just start selling stuff all day long. Continually do list building, okay? I'm in business now 22 years, and guess what I still focus on every single day? List building, okay? You never want it to die. It is like the lifeblood of every single business. Whenever a company comes to mind, they're failing, they're struggling, I look at them, what normally has happened is they stopped driving traffic into their business. They stopped bringing in new leads. They have their existing customers, they keep selling these people over and over and over again, but over time there's attrition, it gets smaller and smaller. They're like, my business is collapsing, I can't figure out what's going wrong. I'm like, how many leads do you generate today? They're like, we're not focusing on lead gen, we're selling to our existing audience. Like, that's the big problem, okay? So week 1, week 2 has been all list building. Continue to do these processes. Don't stop doing it. You block out an hour a day, you can do these value posts, answer the questions, you keep doing that, your list will keep growing. So when this 30 days is over, you still go from 1,000 leads to 5,000 to 10,000, and your business will keep growing from there. Now we're moving into week number 3, which is called pre-launch week, okay? Now we've got 1,000 leads on our list. These people are excited that you provide value. You haven't sold them anything yet, but they want to give you money. They want something more, right? They're looking for something. So this is when the pre-launch week starts. So this is where you're going to start actually selling your thing. Okay, but there's a strategy. When I do the pre-launch correctly, the audience is going to tell me what they want. Because you may be thinking, I don't have a product to sell you. I don't have anything that I can actually sell these people. The good news, you don't have to stress about it because they're going to tell you exactly what they want and you're just going to give it to them. Okay, so this is how it works. This is what the pre-launch looks like. Okay, it's a 5-day pre-launch. So day number 1, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to send an email out to these 1,000 people on your email list. Okay, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask them what they want. Say, hey, right now I'm putting together a course or a training program or whatever you want to call it about my topic, photography, wrestling, badminton, whatever your thing is, right? I'm putting together a course on badminton. I've been providing a ton of value in these different forums, trying to find out what people are looking for. And I'm just curious for you, like, what's the number one thing that you're interested in knowing about how to insert whatever you're good at, right? And then you send the email out. And then your job is to sit back and let them tell you. Okay, they're gonna respond back and be like, oh, I'm curious about this. Oh, I saw your, they all joined your list because they know that you provide value. So they look at you as an expert already. It's like, well, my question is, what about this? What about this? And let them start telling you exactly what they want. Okay, so that's day number 1, is just asking what they want you to create. Okay, my favorite question is like, what's the number one question you have about blank? And then fill in the blank, the thing that you have, right? And the more specific you are in that question, the better. For example, if I say, what's your number one question about making more money? Like, that's such a generic question, it's not gonna get really good responses back. If I make it very specific, what's your number one question about how to add 500 people a day to your email list? What's the number one question about how to sell more things on eBay? Like, the more specific it is, the better questions you'll get back from people, okay? All right, that's day number 1. Day number 2, you're gonna send out your second email to this list, okay? Day number 2, what you're gonna tell them is like, oh my gosh, I asked you guys what you wanted. The response was insane. I got so many good feedback, so many awesome stuff. I'm excited now. From that, I got like 20 questions that came back in. This is gonna become the outline for the course I'm gonna be putting together. I'm so excited for it. And just wanna thank you guys so much. If you have any other questions, please send them along my way. That way I can finalize my outline for I'm gonna be creating today. And thank you so much. That's it. Okay, day number 1, ask them what. Day number 2, told them how excited you were. Get some more feedback and response. All right, that takes us to day number 3. Now this is where you're going to ask your audience to actually hold you accountable. Okay? This is basically what the email says. Hey, as you know, I'm putting together this course. I'm really excited. The problem is in the past, I would have an idea and I would just kind of push it out and push it out and push it out. And sometimes it would take 3 or 4 or 6 months or longer and I never get it done. And so I want you guys to hold me accountable because I want this to get done because I know how powerful and how important it is to me and to you. So my game plan is I want to launch this next Tuesday. And so what I need for you guys to do is I'm putting this on my calendar right now. I'm holding myself accountable. Next Tuesday, this is going live. I want you to put it on your calendar as well. Make sure you have the date down. That way you can hold me accountable. And we know next Tuesday, this is going live. Like, no matter what happens, we're gonna make this thing and it's gonna be amazing. So now they're like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. It's Tuesday, it's coming out. They start getting some anticipation, some excitement. They see your excitement about it too, so it starts building some of that energy. And that brings us now to day number 4. Now day number 4 now is where you're gonna take them from your email list and you're gonna have them move on to an early bird list. Okay, so this is what it looks like. The email will say something like, hey, all right, you guys are holding me accountable. Tuesday is happening. I just put up a page that shows that this is coming soon. It's an early bird page, and if you go to this page and you put your email address in, you're gonna get on a special early bird list. Now the early bird list means you're gonna get access to this course before everybody else does, about an hour or 2 before everybody else does. This is kind of a free thing. So if you wanna get an early bird list, there's a link down below. Send them to a new ClickFunnels page that basically is the early bird list, and go over there to put the email address in. And that way you're taking your 1,000 email buyers and you figure out of all these people who are the most excited and the hottest, right? So from there, say again, this is a funnel, right? 1 million people, 100,000, we got 1,000 leads right now on your list. From those 1,000 leads, you might get 100 to go and put it on the early bird list. Okay, now you know that, okay, of my 1,000 leads, 10% of them, these 100 people are excited, they're ready to buy. They sign up for an early bird so they can buy it earlier than everybody else, right? All right, and day number 5 is all about getting as many people from your 1,000 person list onto the early bird list as possible. So we do a closing cart, and this is not closing like a shopping cart, this is closing the early bird list, right? So that means is basically the email is gonna say, hey, this is your last chance to get on the early bird list. We're going live next Tuesday, as you know. So if you wanna be on this list and get access to the course before everybody else, now is the time to do it. That way you go from the 1,000 people on your list to maybe 100 on your pre-launch list to maybe 150, 200 or so, right? Again, the goal is to get as many people from your core list, the pre-launch list, as humanly possible. And so that takes us through week number 3. So right now, week number 1, we built a list. Week number 2, we built a list. Week number 3, we did the pre-launch. Now week number 4, guess what we're doing? We are going into launch week. This is where you actually start making money. So we take all the effort we put up to this point, and we're gonna transition it from leads into actual money. Now, before I get all the way into launch week, I wanna make you guys a really quick special offer for my bestsellingbook.com secrets. People always tell me, like, if you wanna start an online business, the very first book you need to read is .com secrets. If you don't have a copy yet, you can get a free copy at .comsecrets.com. This book's been read by over 300,000 people. In fact, Tony Robbins said it's a simple process that any company can use to geometrically improve their traffic, conversions, and sales online. Dan Kennedy said, go into this book searching for deep understanding and profound clarity about the structure and the science of effective effective marketing to be applied in the online media universe. And again, thousands of entrepreneurs just like you. You've seen most of the gurus online. Most of them read this book initially before they launched their business, which means you need to do that as well. And again, you can get a copy for free at dotcomsecrets.com. Okay, with that said, let's jump into launch week. Here we go. All right, so launch week. This is what the structure looks like. Day number 1, to the early bird list, you're gonna send an email saying, hey, guess what? The course is live. It's amazing. Go sign up right now. It's gonna be open to the general public in 2 hours from now. You guys get early bird access, okay? And again, these are the people that are your super fans and the most excited. You provided so much value to them. They went from your core list to your early bird list. And so what happens is during that first 2 hours is where the majority of your sales are gonna come before the cart even opens, right? So we send that out. Now, some people do an early bird 2 hours before. Other people do it an entire day before and give early birds a full day. Either ways works. It still fits into the structure. All right, day number 2 now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna email the early birds again and your full list. So I send the entire list an email saying, hey, we're officially launched. Go sign up. The course is ready. And you send them all to the page right there. The most emotional buyers have already bought. Now we're transitioning on day number 3 to starting to get the logical buyers to be interested, right? And we're trying to send out more messages just to give them a reason to buy and a reason to go relook at the sales page and things like that. So day number 3, what we send out a message about why. Why did you create this product? Why did you create this course? Why should they actually care about it, right? So my email will just basically say, like, I created this course because I've been in these forums for the last couple months. I've been providing value and everyone keeps asking the same questions over and over and over again. I wanted to create something that would put all these things into one spot to make sure your questions got answered, right? And you explain why you created the thing and you put a link back to your sales page. Day number 4, this is where we start trying to speak even more to the logic, right? Help them understand, like, hey, if you buy this course, this is the positive ROI you're gonna get from it. Okay, now ROI doesn't always mean how much money are they gonna make. Sometimes it does in a business thing, like you buy this course for $1,000, you're gonna make $10,000, right? There's an ROI there, but sometimes let's say you're in the dating market. Like the ROI is like, you buy this course, the return on your investment is you're going to find a girlfriend, right? Or in the fitness industry, right? You're gonna buy this course, the return isn't more money, the return is gonna get more health. So here I share the facts and the figures of what's the ROI they're gonna get when they invest in the course today. That moves us now to day number 5. This is where we start introducing urgency and scarcity, right? So here it's like, hey, tomorrow the cart's gonna close. This is your last shot to buy the product. You gotta go right now, and we push people to the cart close. And day number 6 is the last call. We're basically saying, hey, last call. We're pulling down the order form here at midnight tonight. And you send out at least one. Usually I send 3 or 4 emails on cart close day. And what's crazy, what you see is normally what happened is on day number 1, the early bird launch, you'll see a huge spike in sales. Day 2, you see another spike in sales when the whole full list gets it. And day 3, 4, and 5, sales keep coming in, 4, 5, they start going, and day number 6 is where the majority of your sales, usually half of your sales will come from day number 6 as you start closing down the cart. And now you are at the end of our 30-day cycle. And if you did this correctly, we spent week 1, week 2 building a list. We also kept building a list on week 3 and 4, but we'll talk about that because we don't stop building a list ever, right? Week number 3 to the pre-launch, got people excited, got to be part of what we were creating. And then week number 4, we actually launched it. We closed down the cart, and if you follow this process correctly, the goal was to get 1,000 people on your list, and from there to make your first $1,000. Again, this is the process we've used over and over and over again. This is how I got started. It's how you get started as well if you're trying to figure out how to get a list and start making money very, very quickly. Now, I've had a ton of fun making this video for you, but I hate talking at you. I love to talk with you. So I set up a really cool group. If you go to hangoutwithrussell.com and you go over there, you can come and hang out with me. You can ask me questions directly. We have a whole conversation happening with tons of other great marketers and entrepreneurs, all talking about how to sell more things online. If you want to learn how to do that, again, go to hangoutwithrussell.com. Come and join our community. That way we can talk together, which would be a lot of fun. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this blueprint to help you to figure out how to get your first 1,000 leads, and from there, make your first $1,000 in the next 30 days.